Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Well, today I'm reviewing one of the newer cigars from the Black Label Trading Company. This is the Santa Muerte 4 3/4 by 52. Has a good feel in the hand for a little bitty cigar. There's your density. Now, this cigar was, I believe, launched in probably the fall of 16. It's about a year old. It pays homage or tribute to the Day of the Dead, or those who have died up to this point. Doesn't say whether it's passed away in the last year or not, but I know that there are other cigars that have paid homage to those who have gone on before us. It's available in two sizes only. Corona Gorda, 5.5 by 48, and this short Robusto, 4 3/4 by 52. That's it. Now, the blend is an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, also an Ecuadorian Habano binder. Interesting. Filler is 3 countries: Nicaraguan, San Andreas, Mexico, and the Dominican Republic. Made in Nicaragua at the Fabrica Oveja Negra factory. So that is, as I say sometimes, the long and the short of it. So let's get right to it. The new Santa Muerte Short Robusto. Looks like a little stick of dynamite almost. It's very small, but it does have a decent feel in the hand for only a less than 5-inch cigar. Oh, wow. That's almost effortless. Well, your first flavors, pretty much a cedar, a little caramel, nutmeg, black coffee, black pepper at an 8. And when you retrohale, it'll seem like it's a 9. It's a lot on the retrohale. Those of you who like that, you'll love it. So that's sort of how we're starting. I'm getting a lot of varied flavors in the at the initial light up, but let's see how things kind of settle down here at about the first third. Now, this is a short cigar. It's going to be hard to go with a third, a third, a third. So we'll see how it goes. I definitely can get you at the first third here in just a few minutes. So let's see how things are going. Okay, we're 1.5 inches or so in, so we're going to call that the first third. Definitely right at the band, and I've got to remove that here shortly. I'm picking up a little bit of a chocolate note. There is a tangy cedar, somewhat tangy, a lot of nutmeg notes bringing down the tanginess or the sweetness of that tangy cedar. Chocolate. Just a touch of brown sugar, not much. And black coffee. The pepper is still very good. Actually, I think the pepper is toned down a bit. I had to sit the cigar down because it's about ready to drop my ash. This first third is really pretty good. It's very different. You rarely get a lot of nutmeg notes with a tangy with a cedar and chocolate. I know that's the influence of all the various regions, but interesting. The first third score, I'm going with an 88. It's pretty good. It's not overly sweet, but it's interesting. I just find it interesting. I want to see how it develops. right here at the midpoint. I'm going to do things a little different with this cigar. I'm going to give you a midpoint assessment because things have sort of changed and really settled down. And hey, look, what difference does it make? I'm going to give you the full story. All right, these are your flavors now. Let me explain to them in depth because it's really obvious to me now. Cedar, nutmeg, unsweetened dark chocolate, black coffee. Those are your 4 flavors. I don't really get any brown sugar. I got very little to begin with. Now I'm getting none. But even though it has basically no sweetness, there is a little touch of something in the sweet direction from the nutmeg and the dark chocolate combining. It's a very interesting, dark noted cigar. Perfect for something that celebrates death or those who've gone on before us or Day of the Dead or whatever you want to call it. The finish is dark chocolate and nutmeg, unsweetened dark chocolate and nutmeg. A little bit of lingering black pepper, a decent amount actually, the more you let it linger. Medium to full bodied. And that's how it is at the midpoint. Now, yeah, I still find it very interesting, but I'm going with a midpoint score of 87. It just, the lack of sweetness, even though the flavors are interesting, it's not speaking to me. Still not a bad cigar or anything like that, but it's just, those of you who've had this, tell me if I'm correct. There is just something interesting, weird about this cigar to the point where I'm not, even with no sweetness, I'm not saying it's a bad cigar. It's just different. I'm at the midpoint. I'll see what happens from here on. Okay, we're down to the end. So let's wrap it up. One thing I'll say about this cigar, it can't burn much more evenly than that. It is just burning superbly even. Nothing changed to the end. So I'm going to give a second half score. Nothing changed. So, hey, 87. And this is not a sweet cigar. This is something you would have after a very sweet dessert for an after dinner cigar that you don't need any sweetness. You're trying to nullify sweetness and take away all. This would be perfect for that. Everyday cigar, not for me, but the flavors are just like I told you. Cedar, nutmeg, unsweetened dark chocolate, and black coffee. Medium to full bodied, finish unchanged. Overall score 87. Not a sweet cigar, but interesting because when you get all these weird flavors, these flavors in this combination, it just gets your attention. But it's a decent cigar. It's just not sweet. So there you have it. The Santa Muerte Short Robusto from Black Label Trading Company, 87.